Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. My name is Syed Hamid Junid. I am the facilitator for our course Ethics and Governance IE 2001. I would like to have a session with all of you who are taking this exam in the month of July, and this is a very short semester, mind you. So I thought it would be good for every student who is enrolled in this course to have an idea about what I expect from this course and what I also would like to have as a learning outcome for this course. I know that some of you will be away and not even in this country. You are not enrolled as a full-time student, and therefore the only source of interaction that you have with me will be through the LMS and also through some emails and webinars. Now, it is important for this course that there are some, I would say, reasonable interactions, and I expect all students who are doing online to be involved in the webinar when I organize one. In fact, in the last semester, I organized weekly webinars where students, can at least interact with me. They can see me, they can hear me talk, and they can also ask questions through the chat. So I hope that for this particular semester, since it's a very short one, I would like to have webinars every week. I have not decided on the date and the time for the series of webinar, but I have done one. The first one will be this coming Sunday. This coming Sunday at 10 p.m. Malaysian time. We will put the notice up for you in the LMS and through emails. I expect students who are enrolled online to attend the webinar for the simple reason that there are very limited interaction time with us, and this course demands that you understand the nature of thought processes. You have to be very familiar with the thought processes involved in understanding this course. I expect students not to just read and memorize the facts, but I think this course demands your ability to apply your cognitive skills at a higher level. Therefore, it is not so much what you know, it is the ability for you to apply your concepts, analyze issues, synthesize ideas, and make evaluation. So in the examination questions, I will also have one or two as case-based questions. It's not really case, but it's more a scenario-based question. And you expect to look at the scenario, look at the context in the scenario, and apply your understanding of ethics and governance in answering the question. I believe that the thought process is very important. How logical is your answer, your ability to see the nature of context and to apply some of the concepts and principles in answering your question. Now, you all have been given the course outline, the topics to be covered, but I want to say that compared to the past semesters, this semester has focused more time on ethics and ethical issues. I have already covered issues on personal ethics, on managerial ethics, organizational ethics, and today I am planning to cover leadership and ethics before we go straight into the topics of governance. So I would like to ensure that you have a clear understanding between the relationship of ethics and governance. This is still an area where a lot of people are confused, or they are still ignorant about how ethics and relationships play the role in understanding corporate governance. So I hope that when we attend the first class on Sunday evening at 10 o'clock Malaysian time, that I will be covering some topics pertaining to ethics, some small cases for us to understand issue of what is right and wrong, and perhaps I will also cover a little bit about ethical leadership before the next webinar session, where we will go more into the areas of corporate governance and compliance, as well as some processes that are needed in order to ensure that the organization, whether Islamic Bank, Islamic Takaful, or any other organization, achieve their objectives and their missions. And we would like to see how the organs of the organizations, especially the board of directors, top management, play their role in directing the organization, in overseeing the processes, so that we achieve what we want to achieve. I am sure internal controls, risk management, succession planning, the issue of agency problems, etc., will be covered, so that you will see the relationship between what it takes to be ethical and what it takes to be effective. There's no point in being ethical and not effective. Neither is there any point in being effective when you're not ethical. So we hope that in this course, we will have a rough idea, if not a more in-depth idea, about why ethics is important and how you apply ethical principles in Islam, and how do you associate being socially responsible as part of doing the right things. So I will also cover a little bit about leadership in Islam, especially the letter of Sayyidina Ali to the governor of Egypt. And hopefully, inshallah, during the course of the semester, we will also get a better understanding of Maqasid Sharia and how that can really be understood better, so that we can see the role of governance and ethics in achieving social well-being or maslahah. Now, what I expect in terms of assignments will be 20% out of the 100% evaluation will be on assignments. This time the assignments will not involve essay writing, but it will involve 2 projects, each carrying 10%. The first project is for students, especially who are overseas or online students in Malaysia, to interview an ex-CEO or ex-top management of an Islamic financial institution, to find out how they perceive ethics in their organization when they were there at the head of the organization, how they perceive ethics in Islamic finance as different from ethics in the conventional banking and the finance system. And also I expect them to interview and ask those people how Islamic finance, is more ethical than conventional finance, and what are the values that can be translated throughout the organization, so that all the staff will be able to behave in accordance with the professed values. So therefore, I would like you to refer to the LMS. I will post some of the potential questions that you are supposed to interview and ask. Please tape record it, and then based on the interview, you are supposed to interpret what you get from the interview, and also to analyze and give your evaluation on what happened and what can happen into the future. And one of the other questions that I expect you to ask is, how would these people who have been leaders in the past, if they were to be given a role as advisors or directors of the bank, how would they do things differently in achieving the ethical value proposition of Islamic finance in those organizations? Now, those are the first one, which is 10%. The other 10% is, I expect students who are enrolled for this course to watch a movie that involves ethics and morality, and you are supposed to understand the movie. It doesn't matter if you have to watch it 2 or 3 times, but you have to understand the ethical import of the movie. What were the issues? Who were the protagonists? How they decided on the issue? How they decided to solve the ethical dilemmas and problems? And what they could have done better from your perspective. And also, I would like you to relate the movie to your life, to see how in your life some of the issues that you have handled, and some of the choices, the difficult choices you had to make, and how you went about solving those choices, and then to reflect on whether you would have done the same thing now compared to. Yeah, as I've been saying, the assignments will cover 20% and 10% will be for your interview, which is a project that you have to do, and the second assignment covers watching an ethical movie. I prefer that the movie is in English because you have to make an analysis of the movie. You have to reflect on your own situation and how that movie has impacted you in terms of your ethical awareness. Now, some of the questions that you will have to deal with in the exam will involve issues of ethics and how you solve problem in some of the situations, and to be aware of the fact that making ethical choices sometimes can be a bit more complex because different people have different standards of right and wrong. Different people have to look at situations because sometimes the situations may not be the same, despite the fact that you may have the same ethical standards, but when you apply it to the situations which are different on the ground, you may not get the same outcome. During war period and during peacetime, are two different kind of situations. But nevertheless, I do not expect them the exam questions to require only one standard answer. I would like to see how you argue your case in the exam. The ability to articulate and argue is more important than the facts, than whether it is this or that. So I hope that the thought process becomes very important during your examination. I think that quite a lot of students fail in the examinations because they are not able to indulge in expressing their ideas and leveraging on the concepts that they have. They tend to be unable to use and apply the concepts in answering the questions. So this is one common mistake that I find in the examination. I do not want to see a lot of facts. I want to see application of facts, analyzing situations, being able to synthesize different ideas from different perspectives and come up with a proposed idea. I also expect that students, should be able to make a professional report as though you are making a report to top management when you make recommendations. Those are required in the examination as well. Now, there will be, inshallah, webinars, and I will update you as regards the progress of the coverage of topics. But I will also try, inshallah, to have a final video on the revision for the course, inshallah, and I will post it up in the LMS through our video, and you can watch the video. But most of the webinar sessions that we are going to have will be recorded, so if you are unable to attend on that day, I expect you to watch the recording. However, I would prefer that at least among all the webinar sessions, you should be able to attend at least 2 sessions. If you can't, then I may have problem in evaluating you for your final exam result. So I think that's about all the issues that I would like to make as an introduction to this course. You can follow up by emailing to me, or if you unsure about certain things during the next webinar that we are going to have on Sunday 10 p.m. Malaysian time, maybe you can raise those questions. So the reading materials, chapter 1, chapter 2 pertaining to ethics and introduction to governance and other related cases, small cases which I have done with the full-time students, will be up. In fact, some have already been uploaded to the LMS. Please watch the LMS, please go through the LMS, see some of the materials. Since I can't be with you, you have to discuss with yourself until we meet during the webinar session. So I hope that, based on these facilities that we are providing you, the passing rate for this course will improve, because it is difficult for students who are studying on their own without any moderation and facilitation to really do well in the exam, and therefore I am making an effort here together. INCEIF is also facilitating that effort to ensure that those students who are enrolled for this course will be able to get the facilitation in order for them to understand the subject matter and in the process pass the exam. With that, I thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, and good afternoon to everyone.